guys, Huzzy bringing you another video. Welcome to what is the first Huzzy viewer spectates of 2024. So this is the series that I will watch you guys, the audience. The more, average player, a lot of my content is more aimed at the very high tiers. I'm right now top 1% and I watch challenger players and they're obviously insane. But that always isn't completely, translating to what you guys are doing. So sometimes watching more average stuff is useful because I can point out little things, hopefully, that you can apply to your own games. So Ace, he's had many of these. I think he is the person that's had the most viewer spectates. So thank you very much to Ace. If you'd like one, by the way, just to say, there is a list, like a waiting list, but it's through the Twitch stream. Maybe I need to do something here on YouTube about it as well if you can't come to Twitch. But yeah, it's 10 gifted Twitch subs and you get a spectate. And basically, whenever you're on the list, it's a waiting list. But basically, if someone on the list kind of goes, "I've got a game," yeah, I'll just do it. Pretty much. That's the waiting list. But yeah, this is a Bronze 3 game. Very early into the season. So not many games into the season at all so far. Ace, obviously, I don't know if you're going to move. I don't know if, like, the beginning... Okay, I think we're fine now, but... has said the misfortune wasn't incredible, but obviously, let's be honest, we're in Bronze 3. No one is going to be incredible, and that is one thing that I think a lot of people do need to sometimes accept, if that sounds weird to say, Ekuro. When you're in average ranks, you're going to have average teammates. And I think the reason why a lot of people in League, even in average ranks, sometimes it's like they expect way more than what you realistically should from teammates. It's because of watching content creators. So when a content creator has good teammates or they're doing, you basically get an expectation of what you're watching. And then when you're playing your own games, then there's that level of expectation that you're like, why aren't you doing that, dude? It's because they're not great. As basic as that may sound, it's true. So positioning again, when, so straight away just say level 2, before level 2, they're level 2, don't go all in, you're going to lose health bar. I know one thing that we said to an Ace spectator a while ago was a Nautilus game. Nice cue. It was a Nautilus game. Oh, misfortune. Ooh, that's bad positioning. And she's dead, yeah. I remember in the Nautilus game, we wanted Ace to be more urgent with his Qs, of like, just go for it. And so far already, more Qs on Morgana are definitely coming out. I would have gone for that cannon there, just to kill it. You may as well gain the gold. But, yeah, so far, it's a bit better of going for Qs. But I would say, with Morgana specifically, as someone also who plays a little bit of Morgana, like that. Don't throw out unnecessary Qs. Only look realistically for a Q when it's going to do something. So like that, if you hit that Q, not much would happen with it. You've lost mana. It didn't hit anyway. But even if it did hit, you're not gaining that much. Your AD carry's not in lane. There's no jungler that's coming. It's, yeah, you might have got them 50, 100 health off. But like in the grand scheme, it's not going to do a lot. So I would only look for Qs when it's going to be a hit. And that's where a lot of the time there's that argument of if you hold your Q, you're actually... It's that kind of blitzcrank effect that you're holding Q, it actually is more threatening than actually using it and missing it. Because the moment that you use it and miss it, the enemy team know we can walk forward. So it's that kind of... It's the balance... And it's a really hard balance, and every game's different. It depends on how well you're playing. It depends on the enemy team. If they're magnets to getting hooked or binded on Morgana, you can maybe be a bit more open with it and use them all the time. But in a game that, especially that your misfortune's already died, I would only realistically look for Qs when it's going to do something. And even sometimes that is, if you can be in a bush, let's just say, like that. Again, that would have been a really long distance Q. Yeah, if it hit, you're still not going to gain a lot for it because you guys are too far away to actually reliably do something with that Q. So I was about literally to say, there we go, that's better. It's the type of thing that I would sometimes, as a Morgana, she is somewhat of a bushwookie support sometimes, but sometimes you want to literally walk next to your target that you want to Q and then it realistically can't miss. Sometimes that's a better play, obviously, especially when you're level 6. But so far, I would say, yeah, the Misfortune, she's not great. Her positioning is a bit iffy. She could have flashed a bit in that fight, but just chose not to. She's been hit by Lux binds, and obviously Lux and Morgana have that similarity of an aimed Q that does CC. Lux's is more forgiving than Morgana's in the fact that, if there's a minion and then the champion that she wants to hit, she can throw it out. It hits 2 targets, where obviously Morgana's doesn't do that. So far, I don't think there's a massive amount more that you could have done in lane, especially I would say to save Misfortune. I think her own positioning is, again, somewhat iffy, walking quite forward at odd times. But focusing on what you could specifically do, again, like that, using W, I get why you might be doing it. You could be thinking, okay, walk right next to him. This is where, walk right next to him. So again, that missed because you actually let him walk away. You needed to go right next to him and then throw out Q, and he can't really dodge it. Like, that would have been an automatic hit. So that's what I mean with Morgana. Sometimes the easiest Q to land is one that you're standing next to your target. Because, again, we knew he didn't have flash because of the previous play. So that right there, I would say, was a mistake. That was a kill opportunity, unfortunately, gone. Talon roaming. Misfortune once again hit. Flashes away. I don't mind the flash. I do think before you flashed, Talon was already looking towards the Misfortune. So potentially you would have maybe been okay to save it, but I also kind of get using it as well. That was Talon roaming, though, pre-6 with also using flash. So a bit peculiar. Hello, puppies. That scared the life out of me then. So yeah, nice to get an assist there. Kill the Talon. Hey, pups. Oh, don't call me. Hey, what are you doing? So my dog has decided to say hello. Hi. Yeah, okay, she's holding on to me. You can have my hand. So yeah, so far I would say there's not a whole lot you could have done to save this Misfortune. It's her own positioning. Maybe a couple black shields before the Lux Q. That is something to say. Obviously, Morgana is somewhat of a counter that if you time your black shield, then Misfortune won't be binded. So maybe looking for that a little bit more. But then what I was previously going to say before that play happened with the Jhin, the Ws. So I get why you're doing it. In theory, I'd imagine you're doing it. Well, I actually don't even know if that's true anymore. I was about to say you might be doing it because of the support item. I presume it is still that way. Is it still that way? Damaging. Okay, yeah, it is still that way. So you are stacking your support item by either doing the last hits, which you should be doing, or poking. But because, especially now that the support item, you can, you've got one mark that you can do it here. Make sure you are doing those last hits, because then you're less reliant on using your mana. And you don't want to be a Morgana support in lane with no mana. So yeah, AR Bindy Boom, how are things? A bit tummy dodgy today, but otherwise we're trucking. I'm trying to make the most out of a poopy situation, you could say. Sorry, I had to. So anyway, Morgana, Ace going back, gets a Haunting Guy's first item. So Liandry's presumably is going to be the first item, which again, I think is fine. I've not played Morgana. Oh no, I might have played one game on Morgana. Maybe one. But then, again, I think I played Morgana very early into the season. Obviously, we're 2+ weeks into the season now, roughly. Item builds, people are understanding them more, and I think definitely at the beginning, a lot of people weren't really buying Liandry, and I think Liandry, people are starting to realize, hey, it's not that bad. That was a good black shield. There we go, very nice. So yeah, I think Liandry is coming into its own. What I also would do here, by the way, I would walk forward. So there's Talon. Your AD carry needs and wants to base. That Jhin probably wants to base. It's where I would sometimes walk forward. If I'm not scared of this Lux, which I'm not really, I don't think she's going to kill me in a 1v1, I would walk forward and interrupt bases. So it basically, like, she's wanting to base, they're pushing it in. This is what I would do myself right now. I would go aggressive on this Jhin. And even in a 2v1, there is a chance that you could actually get a kill. If you land your bind, which you don't, but if you landed that bind, that's an opportunity that you actually can make a solo play. And that's what a lot of people always say is that I'm a support, I can't do plays. They are occasionally there, Again, I would say for individual carrying, more often on the mage supports than the enchanter supports, but that is an opportunity, I'll say, if you went close to him. And that's one thing I would say straight away. I would potentially say, if you are looking to play Morgana moving forward, I think not going for near max range Qs all the time. They're really easy to dodge. You might hit the occasional one, and sometimes they can be the clutch ones that can win you a game, but for specifically lane phase, you don't want the random long range ones because you can't really follow up on them very much. You want ones that make an impact but also don't waste your mana. So I would say look for your Qs. It's been, honestly, the change in what we saw in the Nautilus game to this game is good. The Nautilus game, you were very hesitant into using them. This game, I'd say you're actually using them too much. It's about finding that balance and line. But yeah, I would say look to walk forward a bit more. It does risk yourself, but that's the nice thing with Morgana. It risks yourself, but you've got Black Shield. So if you're okay like that, you walked forward. That was good. No massive follow-up, but not also terrible. Zach could be in the area. Gets a heal out. Again, back away, disengage. Warwick's in the area. Also, Talon's missing, so don't look to extend the fight. But yeah, that's what I say, is I would put yourself, your character, closer to your target. Walk towards him. Right now, literally, I would have walked straight towards that Jhin. So your Misfortune was the target. I would have done everything straight away just to walk towards that Jhin to get him to cancel it. But obviously, the primary, and you can get it, the primary there. Oh, go, ult. Oh, God. Okay. That's fine. Again, in the rating that we are, obviously, that's a fine play to do. He's dead, and that's the result that you want. Obviously, there probably was other ways of doing that without sums, but to not risk anything, just to let him, you know, he's dead, don't worry about it, is also not bad. So again, there's the ult, okay, which is good. Again, you're covering off the exit, so Lux obviously can't escape, so that's also good. And you do get an assist there too. So that was nice. That was a better play. I like that. And Ace, who is in chat right now, did say he panicked. He did panic on this play, which you can understand. Like, oh, my AD carry is going to die, or Jin's flashing into tower. What do I do? You can understand a bit of panic. You know, a lot of League players panic. Trust me. He won't mind me saying. I don't know if he's even listening right now. But Jeebas are basically one of our, you know, head mods. In his peak, walk next to him. I don't even know what the Jin's doing. Oh, you must not have Q up. Oh, no, you do. I guess you just don't want to steal the kill. Okay, fair enough. Also, Mario's win, 15 months tier 1. Thank you very much, my dude. Appreciate it. But yeah, Jeebas in his peak of being a solo queue player, he never fully tryharded, was a platinum player. Obviously, and this was years ago before Emerald or anything existed. So platinum to me is a pretty respectable rank, top 10%, let's say. He panics. Jeebas is a panicker. So even as a platinum top 10% player, he would panic as an AD carry and stuff. And, you know, he'd, like, you know, have movements with his hands of panicking. Everyone can panic. It's okay to do. And I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, you needed to do that so much better. No. Because, again, in the rating that we are, you don't need to play perfect. And everyone can panic. But the result is the Jhin died and Misfortune lived in that play. That's okay with me. And I think that's what a lot of people need to understand with League of Legends, is it's okay not to play perfect. I don't play perfect, and I manage to get a high diamond, peek into master occasionally. It's okay to just play like a human. So yeah, the Misfortune, she's having a bit of a rough game. The biggest weakness of this Misfortune, it's the main one, really, of most AD carries, is her positioning. The Misfortune's positioning is on the weaker side. Again, she must have gone into lane, got hit instantly by a Lux Q or something, potentially, and she's dead. So, yeah, Lux's positioning is not great. And this is what I was literally about to get onto, and might already be happening, is with support. Support does have that unique capability. Nice, I like the assist there, getting the shield on. Support has the uniqueness in, if my lane partner sucks, and I would say it's better for supports in a certain way. If your AD carry sucks as a support, what you'll often see in the modern League of Legends game is you stay bot lane, I'm going around the map. And sometimes that is the better thing to do. If it is genuine, your AD carry is not very good, and you can just see more death happening, leave them bot lane. Good luck to you. I'm going to go try and make plays alone. And that does two things. One, it hopefully will make you go and do plays around the map, and maybe you'll get a kill or two, and maybe you'll get objectives, and that's a good thing. But in the same area, hopefully that will give a message to your AD carry. Oh, my support's left me. That's bad. Maybe I should play a bit different. So hilariously there, again, walked up. There we go. Got the cue. Jin didn't notice that the Zac was in the Rift Herald, I think. Which is quite funny, but yeah. And Ace just said that was one of your questions in the game. Is that the correct decision? Yes. 100%. From what I've seen of this Misfortune, I would not stay in bot lane with her at all. And there's two reasons for it. One, I don't think you being in bot lane is going to stop this Misfortune dying. I think her own positioning a lot of the time is getting her killed. And you didn't know, maybe the occasional Black Shield might have saved one death or two deaths, maybe, at the right time to dodge the Lux Q. But this Misfortune is going to just die. Secondly, why I think it's actually an okay decision is her farm's good. So you can't realistically stop her dying, but she is still out farming the Jhin by nearly 30-odd%. So she's farming okay, she's just dying. You can't stop her dying, but she's still going to farm well. Okay, stay bot lane and die, but farm well. I'm going to go around the map and try to make plays happen. That's an okay thing to do. You have a fed Yasuo, a strong Zac, and a fairly strong Alawi. Those are a lot of things that you can link up with and make stuff happen. It's not like you've got a hyper-scaling top laner and mage that don't do anything at this time of the game. No, these champions can do things right now, so you can help achieve that thing. So 100%. And yeah, very true, the Misfortune, if, let's just say you put enough pressure, I put Black Shield, there we go. If you put enough pressure, like you're doing now, look what's just happened, is you're starting to roam, plays are starting to happen. Ooh. The enemy bot lane is now not even bot lane. The enemy bot lane is not farming. They are now panicking, going, oh, there's a bunch of people mid lane. Yeah, there is, because you're helping apply that pressure. So it's actually making your Misfortune safer. So you saw Talon was there. Well, now because you're putting so much pressure as a trio, Talon can't be bot lane. So now Misfortune is having a lovely time by herself in bot lane. And you're doing all the pressure, you're getting in here. Like, this is 100% the right thing to do. And hopefully, if anything, it's gaining you guys stuff again. You don't want to overstay as much. Okay. Death was bound to happen because of the overstay. There's obviously a limit of when you should leave. And that's actually still not that bad. Again, in the end of the day, you've gained all this. You've gained in here. You've gained more kills. So far, for a support death. Worth. You know, it's that what we sometimes talk about is that's for the greater good. That's fantastic. So Zac has died in his passive, so he's not officially dead. Alawi goes a bit too far. So yeah, for gaining all that you have, you've an inhib and everything, all nice done. You're basically losing 2 to 3 people in deaths. So yeah, he goes down. You're losing a few people, but Misfortune is now even more ahead on farm. You're gaining the dragon. She's also gaining solo XP, so she's getting herself back into the game. 100% is the better thing to do. I would say it's a skill knowing when to abandon your AD carry. And obviously, I'm sure there's some AD carry mains that get really triggered when they get abandoned. But it is something that you have to consider. It genuinely, I would say, only realistically do it of 2 things. And hilariously, they're kind of opposites of each other. Do it either you don't trust your AD carry and they're just not very good, and you feel I can make better presence, and either okay, you're gonna still farm or you're gonna still die. I can't stop that. I'm going on roaming. That's a good thing. Or if your AD carry hilariously is so fed, sometimes it's a good thing to leave them, because when they're really fed, it increases their safety because they're fed. And you can go help the rest of your team get fed. And yeah, one thing it is worth mentioning, I spotted this. Oh, nice, there we go. I did notice this when we were looking up the lobby before we started the replay. One reason potentially that this Jhin has struggled with farming a bit, even though again a lot of the pressure obviously has gone to his side, the Lux herself has got 60 farm. Now, I don't know what's happening down here. You've got 2 AD carries that are together. Obviously, it is a cheesy Vayne top. But, Yeah, the Lux having 60 odd farm is a bit peculiar. Obviously, in lane phase, it was very apparent that she was throwing out E's basically on cooldown for harassment. That probably stole some farm. Yeah, that's, again, I wouldn't, obviously as a support primarily, take a lot of farm from your AD carry. Obviously, now that every single support has the same item at the beginning, and the item both can increase by your damage and by getting these you know, the support last hits. So yeah, supports, you know, enchanter supports, mage supports, they never used to do the last hits with the support item. They can do it now. But yeah, the Misfortune once again died. And again, if you're like, oh, what was their positioning? Yeah, Misfortune was in the enemy base alone. Why did Vayne just flash into... I don't know. But yeah, Misfortune, her positioning that we've spoken about a lot. She was in the base by herself alone as a 0-5 Misfortune. So that's, again, if that doesn't, for you, Ace, go, oh, I did the right thing of leaving her, I don't know what else will. You did the correct thing. And the game literally completely, you know, a lot of you were doing well anyway, but the game shifted into its end phase when you went mid lane with the Astra, with the Zac, and then basically the end of the game started. So, yeah. But ultimately, TLDR, I don't think there was, you know, it wasn't terrible. I would say lane presence could be a little bit better. You know, it's basically walking up and not doing anything. Having that, when I play support, and I'm not a support main, but you'll see me quite often, no matter what support I'm playing, just walk towards the AD carry. And all I'm doing there is basically giving them a sense of unease. Like, I'm here, remember? I don't have to do anything to you right now, but I'm here. And it's just making them go backwards a bit. Because if they're aggressive and they're doing well and they're only going forwards, their confidence is rising. So sometimes just walking towards the AD carry and the enemy support, obviously be careful when you do it, is sometimes a good thing to do, and that's lane presence. I'd say Qs, it was good to see that you're being more open with using them, but those long range Qs don't do a lot in lane phase. Because yeah, let's say you hit a maximum range Q in lane phase, well, Misfortune's too far away to make use of it, so you're not really doing anything with it. So I would say walk closer to the target, then use the Q when it's basically a sure thing. And that's, again, when you are with a Misfortune, that's what you should be looking for, especially at level 6 with the chain ultis. So that's what I would say, is it was good to see. And then also, it was good also when you were like, this Misfortune's no good, she's 0-5, I'm leaving. That was also nice. So there was some good things this game, and there were things to improve. Again, you weren't with the best AD carry, but again, in bronze, you're never going to be with the best AD carry. That's the thing. You've just got to be, you know, make the best of the situation you're in. So ultimately, I think it's okay. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you yourself enjoyed Ace, and, you know, all of you could take some things away from this game. If you did, do throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. I can hear my puppy dog moaning. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down!